Good evening, everybody. What an honor to be the latest speaker when everyone is exhausted. But I'm here to talk about a beautiful topic, which is the World Food Programme. As you are probably aware, the World Food Programme was awarded this year's Nobel Prize for Peace. And I had heard about this program, but I didn't really quite know what it was all about. So I decided to do a little bit of research. First, I would like to give you some background information. The World Food Programme was created in 1961 at the request of United States President Eisenhower. He wanted it to be an experiment to provide food aid through the United Nations system. Soon after, in September 1962, an earthquake strikes in northern Iran. More than 12,000 people die. Thousands of houses are destroyed. It was a true baptism of fire for the World Food Programme. It had only been running for a few months. However, it quickly sent survivors 1,500 metric tons of wheat, 270 tons of sugar, and 27 tons of tea. Then there's a typhoon in Thailand, and the need to repatriate and feed war refugees when Algeria gained its independence. So crises multiply, but the World Food Programme rises to the task. And as such, the experiment proves its worth. Unfortunately, this has not been enough. Today, 1 in 9 people worldwide still don't have enough to eat. And this is why zero hunger is one of the Sustainable Development Goals. As part of the Agenda 2030, the international community has committed to end hunger and achieve food security and improved nutrition. But still, I haven't told you what's the World Food Programme. It really is a humanitarian organization that first saves lives and second, changes lives. And how do they do it? Well, first, they deliver food assistance in emergencies, but they also work with communities to improve nutrition and to build resilience. First and foremost, the World Food Programme focuses on emergency assistance. So an emergency arises, and the World Food Programme is often the first to arrive on scene. They provide food assistance to victims of war or civil conflict, and also to victims of climate action, such as drought, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, crop failures, and natural disasters. 2/3 of the work that they carry out is done in conflict-affected zones, in countries where there's war going on or there's an armed conflict, because there people are 3 times more likely to be undernourished than in countries where there is no conflict at all. For example, in 2019, the largest emergency response was in Yemen, because as you probably know, there's an ongoing conflict that is causing one of the world's worst hunger crises. In Syria as well, they are assisting millions of people who had to be displaced by the civil war. I'm going to give you some general figures, so get your pens and notepads ready. In 2019, the World Food Programme assisted 97 million people in 88 countries. On any given day, the World Food Programme has 5,600 trucks, 30 ships, and nearly 100 planes on the move. They deliver food and other kind of assistance to those who most need it. The response that they give can be done in a combination of food, cash, nutrition supplements, and school feeding. In fact, in terms of school feeding, the World Food Programme provides more than 17.3 million rations in 50 countries. This is great. It's a great task, but who is really behind this program? Well, there is an executive board that governs the World Food Programme, and there are 36 members in this board. However, they don't work alone. They work closely with two sister organizations that actually are also based in Rome. And these are first the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, that belongs to the United Nations as well, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development. Besides, the World Food Programme partners with more than 1,000 national and international NGOs. And how is it funded? Who brings the money and the resources? Well, first of all, it's worth noting that it's funded entirely by voluntary donations. In 2019, the World Food Programme raised a record-breaking $8 billion US. There are over 17,000 people working worldwide, and 90% of them are based in countries where the agency provides assistance. The funding comes mainly from three sources. First, governments. Governments are the main source of funding. On average, there are 60 governments that underwrite the humanitarian and development projects that the World Food Programme carries out. Then we have corporations. So individual companies can also make a contribution to fight hunger. Corporations can donate either cash, products, or services, and they all make great resources to help the World Food Programme feed more hungry people. And then we have individuals. Individuals can also make a difference in the lives of the hungry. A personal donation can provide either food rations during an emergency or during a crisis, bring special food for hungry children in schools, provide food incentives to encourage poor families to send their girls to school, or it can be food payment for people so that they can rebuild schools, roads, and other infrastructure. And everything with the aim, of course, of improving these people's situations. Because the World Food Programme doesn't only act in emergencies, but they also have a preemptive motivation. They want to prepare some countries or some situations where they usually suffer from natural disasters or where there's war going on, so they can be more prepared for when hardship comes. So every donation makes a difference. Just $50 will provide food for a child for the next 3 months. Thanks to this humanitarian aid and all the operations that they carry out worldwide, the World Food Programmes has an unparalleled reputation as an emergency responder. In a nutshell, they get the job done quickly, at scale, and in the most difficult environments. So now that you know a little bit more about the World Food Programme, it's up to you to decide or to judge whether they deserved the Nobel Prize for Peace. Thank you very much.